is this? What's happening? Don't do this.
No.
Don't hang up on me!
You ever feel like life is treating you unfairly?
This is bad.
I got a threshold for the abuse that I would take.
You're telling me that everybody's telling me to go fuck myself!
People screwed you over and there ain't a damn thing you can do about
I
it?
look in your face and I know that you're lying!
Except obsess about what you coulda, woulda, shoulda done?
I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss out his ass.
I'll fucking sew your asshole clothes and keep feeding you.
Yeah.
Keep feeding you.
So do we.
You say you're sorry, or I'm gonna make you feel sorry.
This is Revenge Fantasies.
I'm coming to get you.
With Justin Silver and Dan Dunn.
Because now it's payback.
You're I love it.
Right, it is.
I love it.
Oh, man, that gets me so pumped up. I am Dan Dunn. Welcome to the show where feelings of humiliation, anger, hurt, vulnerability, and victimhood rule the day. That's what happens here on Revenge Fantasies. Joining me, as always, the best-looking guy in the room, Justin Silver.
Oh,
How
shit.
are you, man?
I assumed you were talking about me, and in fact, I was right. Thank you so much, Dan. I'm fired up today. I just took the most hellacious subway ride over here and almost had a panic attack and had to get off a stop early. But other than that, I'm excited.
What happened on the subway?
It's just everybody's on top of you, and it's rush hour, and I never take the train. And then when the train stops in the station, that 5 minutes feels like an eternity, and just everybody's on top of each other. And I'm not like germophobic with COVID and everything. I'm like, I was like, get me off this thing. I felt like what my grandparents must have felt like in Nazi Germany when they walked into what they thought was a shower.
Yeah.
What they thought was a shower. Sorry, are we starting off a little edgy here today?
Well,
That's always my first thought as well.
This is what I know about the New York City subway. Last time I was there, the main advice that was given to me, which is a sign of the times, is whatever you do, if you take the subway, don't stand close to the edge and certainly don't leave your flank vulnerable because someone may push you onto the train. Apparently, this is the new fun thing to do in New York is push people in front of trains.
No, we've been doing this since the 80s. What are you talking about,
but
baby?
It's ramped up, though, right? It's ramped up.
Oh. You know what? To me, it's sort of like this place is such a mess. I don't know the different gradations from day to day. I don't.
Speaking of pushing people in front of the trains, I guess we're going to metaphorically do that to our guest today. We're going to push them in front of the train. Who do we got, Justin? Who's there with you today?
Well, first we have our lovely producer, as always, Alex, in the booth.
Hi, Justin.
Splendidly taking care of us.
Hi,
we
friends.
love you and appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hi, Alex.
And
hi.
Hi, Dan.
And a very good friend of mine, hilarious comedian, Mike Recine is with us today, and he brought his little mini-me.
Thank you. My wife's on her way. She should be here any minute to grab this, to grab the kid.
Look at this little mini Guido, the two of them in matching tracksuits.
Tracksuits.
Thank you.
I mean, you're such a Goomba, Mike. I love you for this.
Thanks.
I love you for the show. Listen, I've known you for... It's over 15 years at this point. We both kind of started together. I've always been a huge fan, and I was like, when I saw you...
we go way back.
We go way back.
To like 2008.
Yes, and you're a great storyteller, so I was like, this will be... I was dying to have you on the show. So here we go.
I've been wronged a lot, and I carry it all around with me.
Yeah, I know you're a victim.
Yeah, I'm a victim. Yeah.
I've watched
Mike,
your...
can I ask you a question, Mike?
Sorry, yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
Justin sort of blew me off what I was saying, but is it true that people getting pushed in front of trains has become more prevalent in recent years?
I don't know if it's been more prevalent. I feel like it's something that always it's always been there. The chance of getting pushed onto a train.
Can I venture something?
Maybe it's getting reported more now, is what you're saying. Maybe seeing it more because of the intranets.
But it doesn't feel like someone's died getting pushed in front of a train in a while. It feels like it's
like
happening.
A challenge.
It's
Mike
happening,
just threw down the gauntlet right there.
I gotta say, I don't think it's become more prevalent. I just think it's become more fun. And that's why you're hearing more about it. It's like the new thing, man. It's like those TikTok dances of New York. That's what it is. It's like
Do you ever get like intrusive thoughts where you're like, I'm going to push somebody on the train tracks?
Yeah, today, on the way over here.
Yeah.
Every time.
Nonstop. Because you see somebody standing like right near the tracks and you go like, what if I just nudged them a little bit?
Here's what it is.
My most vicious thought in New York is when I'm walking down the street, especially if you're near, say, NYU, right, where it's just this swarm of zombie kids who are glued to their phones. And as I'm walking down the streets, I see them coming and they're not paying attention. And all I think is, I'm going to fucking slam into this guy. So I'm not moving. I'm on this path. I'm going to continue walking, and I square up. I get ready for contact. And it's like they have this sixth sense or something. At the last second, they veer around you.
And then you do bump into them. They're like, some white man just bumped into me. They're tweeting about it in real time.
Some cis white male just bumped into me with his toxic masculinity. Excuse you, sir. Ben does not like that joke. Ben, he's so cute. Well, I'm excited to hear whatever. Dan's got microaggressions on me already at the top of this episode, which is to be expected, Dan. I didn't mean to cut you off earlier, but I'm excited to hear what Mike's got to say. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to listen to your story. We're going to throw in some stories of our own, and we're going to rework the endings the way we feel we all agree it coulda, shoulda, woulda played out in your favor.
And let me just say, I imagine this going a lot better, bringing the baby in here. And I'm sorry that this is happening.
I'm not upset about it.
The mic. You're not?
No.
Nobody wants to podcast with a baby.
I think
it's a bad.
Give me the baby.
All right.
Give me the baby. Come here.
Go to
I'm
Justin.
podcasting with Justin. What are you talking about? Listen to this guy for 10 minutes. It's the biggest baby going.
Well, you
all right.
See? You tell your story. Little Ben's going to sit with me.
Okay. So Daddy's here.
Daddy's over here. Oh, wait. What's the matter? Oh, it's because I'm Jewish. He wants to get away.
Yeah.
Dan?
Sorry.
What's your bubba?
Too much time with his grandparents.
Look at this. You could look like this one day. All right, cool, man.
Anyway, any minute she's going to come in. She's going to take him out of here.
Your wife?
Yeah.
She's going to come in and take him out of here. I want him to stay. I love this little kid.
Yeah.
I want one of these things, Dan.
We should have a baby on every episode.
Dan, I think you and I should have we should just get a baby together. Like, we're both successful guys.
Yeah.
We got our shit together. We look a lot younger than we are.
A movie
gay guys get
a baby.
Yeah.
Dude, gay guys get these things all the time. Why not us?
Right. They just and they just work them in.
They work them in.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear one of your stories, Mike. I'm excited for this.
All right, so I have like a few. I mean, I kind of keep a list going of like all the people who have wronged me in my life.
At he's like us, Dan.
Yeah.
I do that too, Mike. And I'm not joking. I literally have a list. If I ever win an Academy Award, it's going to be the greatest Oscar speech of all time, because I'm going to say, listen, everybody who deserves to be thanked for me being here already knows who they are, but now it's time to fucking exact some revenge. That first agent that said I was never going to make it,
Right.
I'm going to name names. I have all their names. I'm going to list it, and I'm going to fucking ruin this town.
Yeah, and you just do that while your whatever middle school bully's watching with his family, you know?
That's right.
And you're just like, you're a piece of shit. But
son of a bitch.
But yeah, so I used to. So last summer, I think I kept a list of all the people who I kept like an enemies list. I wrote it down, and I think I put it in the basement. I don't have it
sake of
anymore.
what, Mike? Like, what's this list for?
I think it's just good to have. I think it's just good to have and go back to it. Like it's like writing down your goals. You write down your enemies.
A guy dressed like
the
you,
people who have
with a list like that could cause some problems.
Yeah, which I'm not like.
You're kind of wacky. You know what I mean? Like, you could whack a guy. He's like, here's a list and a piano wire.
I guess I could be like the guy in the Heist movie that kind of like flips out. There she is.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Come on in. Come take the baby. She's so cute.
No,
We're gonna
don't
bring
take the baby.
He's doing really good.
I thought the baby was making the most sense of any of us so far on this episode. But Mike, I'm with you. I feel that negative reinforcement has really fueled a lot of my endeavors in life. Like thinking about people that have wronged me or that I perceive to have wronged me has really driven me. And I thought, brought me to great heights at certain points. I know it's extremely damaging emotionally for me, but it drives me to succeed.
Yeah, and being a victim feels really good. Like, that comedy journalist, Seth Simons, we sort of got into it a little bit online. And, and Seth was like...
This is the famous cancel everybody guy, right?
Yeah.
Am I right about this? You know who this is, right, Dan?
I don't know who it is, but he's one of many, right?
He could be the most infamous one at this point.
Is
that correct?
He's like their king.
Yeah.
He's what?
He's like their king.
He digs through old shit, and Now I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know what he's doing, but I did something online that he didn't like, and then he tweeted like, Mike Recine stick to selling pasta sauce challenge, because I used to sell pasta sauce. That was like my little side hustle. I made a nice marinara sauce, and I sold it out of the trunk of my car. But
I have an image of you from like the beginning of Gifford with selling the cigarettes. He's like, oh, he's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. So what, you got your mother's permission? No, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is like a little, it's fine. It's fine. It was a fun little hustle while it lasts. I don't do it anymore.
No, you have a kid now. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's a little goofy, I guess. It's a little whoppy to do that, to sell pasta sauce out of your car.
I want to know the people that buy the
That's
pasta.
what I was just thinking.
Like, this seems safe. Here's a complete stranger selling pasta. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, most of the people, they know me, and I think they like the sauce. It's a good sauce. And it's sealed. It's in a jar.
In my mind, it was just sort of like, here's how I visualized it. You had like the metal tub with the ladle, and they just come and they bring their own little Tupperware things, and you're like, that's how I saw it.
BYOP.
It was a little bring your own.
They show up with a plate of pasta, a steaming plate of pasta, and Mike just ladles it on there. And then
$2. You want a little? You want to? It's like the scene from. It's like the scene from Do the Right Thing. He's like, put some extra cheese. He's like, extra cheese is $2. Come on, Sal.
You want a sausage? I got some sausages going too over here in the front of the car. Yeah.
He's cooking it on the engine.
He's cooking it on the engine.
So go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
So Seth told me to stick to selling pasta sauce, and I was just like, and it was so fun to be like, how dare you? How dare you talk to me like that?
Right.
I'm a hardworking Italian American.
Yeah.
Would you say that to any other ethnic group? Stick to selling pasta sauce. Would you say the equivalent of that to like?
Well, let's dig in a little bit, like to an Asian. Like, how would you say it? And by the way, we're playing characters right now.
Right.
Seth is listening, okay? So everything that he says from here on is okay. Like, if you go to an Asian, you're like, oh, stick to selling what?
Noodles. It's like you wouldn't tell a black guy to stick to basketball.
I went to Justin and I said, hey, why don't you stick to shooting lasers into the forests of California and starting fires? You damn.
That'd be rude.
You and your Jewish lasers. Justin doesn't follow the news, so he has no idea what I'm talking about.
No idea what you're talking about, but it sounds
sitting
fun.
member of a sitting member, and I use that term lightly, of the United States Congress, said that the thing behind all the forest fires we're having out here in California is that a cabal of evil Jews have a giant laser, and she meant this. There's not a joke.
Yeah, she rules.
They have a giant laser that Marjorie Taylor Greene, that they shoot into the forests of California to start fires.
And can I defend something? And when they brought it up at the meeting that they were going to do that, I voted against it. So I'm just saying that. I'm not saying they didn't do it. I'm just saying I wasn't for it. That's all I'm saying, Dan.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Hate my people, don't hate me. Continue, Mike, please.
You are maybe the best looking Jew that I've ever met.
Thank you, Mike.
You forget.
If things don't work out with Deb, I will raise that baby with you. Yeah, why
man,
not?
You are like the Brad Pitt of Jews.
Thank you. That would
Brad
be Paul
Pitt Jewish? I bet he's Jewish. Is he Jewish?
No, because we would know. Because a Jew's favorite thing is to be like, oh, that person's like a quarter Jew. We like to hold on to anything that's like kind of cool because the majority of us are so unsexy. I'm holding it down for the whole fucking tribe.
Like
here.
Justin's the
Except
hottest.
the Israelis.
Justin's the hottest Jew. Who's even the second hottest Jew? Larry David, I guess.
I was just going to say
Mel Brooks,
Seth Rogen. That's what I was going to say.
Really?
Thank you, guys. I'm getting an erection right now under the table.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. So, Mike, continue, please. I'm so excited.
So anyway, it's fun. Like it's fun to like be a victim. But I guess my revenge fantasy would be this is like a quick one.
Well, this is the story. That's the whole story. Like he basically tweets this out.
Yeah, he said stick to selling pasta sauce. And I was at the stand with Chris Italia, and I was like, can you believe that he fucking said that?
Did you respond?
We were like, yeah, my wife and I made a video. She was pregnant at the time, and she was like, this was a racist and classist attack against my husband. It was cool. Deb's a soldier.
Nice.
But it was fun
name?
to like.
What's this guy's name again?
Seth Simons.
Simons.
He's the one that got Shane canceled, Dan.
He's the one that got Shane canceled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is why I
He's
specifically made
busy.
the Asian joke.
Which I don't have any, whatever. Nothing against him.
Nothing against him.
I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy.
Look at you fucking tiptoeing.
Seth Simons, you think he's a perfectly nice guy?
No.
No, he's probably a bad guy. But I don't want, I don't care.
So go
You
ahead.
should stick this. He's a panty sniffer because he's figuratively sniffing the panties. He's going through all the old stuff. He wants to find that one little juicy nugget. Anybody that's meticulous that in order to get off, because that's what he's doing, right? He's getting off. Like there's got to be that moment when he goes, I got him. I got Shane. 9 years ago, he said this. I'm going to ruin his life. I'm going to get him off Saturday Night Live. Anybody that is that much of a fucking creep is absolute. It's like today I was watching the news and that guy Duggar came up on the screen. Josh Duggar. It was breaking news that he'd been charged with being a pedophile. And I'm like, of course, look at him. There didn't need to be a trial. Just look at his face, the mugshot. That's a pedophile, right? So anybody like this guy, and I'm saying it, I don't care. He can come after me. Anybody that is this dogged in the pursuit of ruining people's lives there's definitely some skeleton in his closet, and that's the revenge.
Well, you could say that about this whole podcast network, though.
Yeah,
there doesn't need to be a trial.
So give me your fantasy first, and then we'll round it out. We'll make it more robust.
Yeah.
We'll robustify it. Is that a word, Dan? Can I say it?
Yeah, that's a word.
Robustify. What, Alex?
Yeah.
Alex? Word? Good.
I mean, I'll allow it. I don't think that's a word.
Mommy says it's okay. It's okay.
Wait, I'm Googling it right now. It says robustify.
Robustify.
A word used by comely Jewish men. You know what comely means, Justin? You know what comely means?
I feel like it meant like
that one up.
Just got cummed on in.
Comely, handsome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I went the other way. All right, so let's.
Robustify is a word.
Robustify? Yeah. Shit, dude, I made it up. See, this is what I'm saying. We run the weather, we run the dictionary, we shoot lasers into the forest. All right, so give me your ideal fantasy, and then we'll robustify it. Word of the day.
All right, so when I was in 7th grade, I had in English class there was like the main area where the desks were, and then off to the side,
you mean the classroom
were set up. There was a classroom,
right? Got it.
Yeah. No, there were like maybe like 9, I don't know, 15 desks over here, and then there were 6 desks off to the side, 3 desks. So there were three desks right here, and then 3 behind it. So there were 3 girls that sat in front of. Because this is important. There were 3 girls that sat in front of us, and then 3 guys that sat behind them in these 6 desks.
6 desks.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Guys looking at the back of the girls' heads. Girls looking to the front of the room.
Guys looking at the back of the girls' heads.
Gave you a great visual.
I don't think they were looking at the back of the heads, though. I'm going to just say that right up front.
No.
How old were you?
12, baby.
Yeah, you're just starting to get there.
We were looking at that sweet.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is when Brittany was doing the thing where she was pulling a little bit of like, she's like, "Ooh, I had a sexy mistake," and she was like pulling up a little bit of G-string up there. So, and I'm not saying I'm not a pedophile. Let me just say that the kid was sitting here.
I'm not either.
I didn't touch that kid.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I'm also not a pedophile.
Dan, you want to clarify for everybody? Not a pedophile, right?
No, not a pedophile.
Alex,
but I'm not going to tell the joke. I'm not even going to tell the joke.
Not a pedophile.
So
4 non-pedophiles.
Awesome. Folks, no pedophiles here.
You heard it here first, folks, everybody.
Okay. So 3 and 3.
Yeah,
Got it.
3 and 3. So I sat. So there were three dudes in the back, and I sat in the middle desk. And next to me was this kid Andrew, and then next to me was my friend Chad. But for some reason, before class every morning, Andrew would like punch me in the arm as hard as he could.
Nice.
How's that nice?
I mean, I was just saying nice. Like,
okay.
I got it. It was like nothing.
Okay. Yeah. So he would punch me in the arm. He would do it like a few times, and he would do it. He did it like a few days in a row. And I remember at one point, like, so it became like a regular thing where this kid would punch me in the arm, and I think he was bigger than me. He probably hit harder. I was like a little like chubby kid.
Me too.
In middle school.
Dan too.
Yeah. That's why we're in showbiz, baby.
Look at us now.
Getting revenge.
Now we're
living. Yeah.
Good looking and not diddling children.
Not diddling children.
Great, baby.
Look at it.
I think we fucking won, Now we're in showbiz.
Can I say something to you?
Living our best lives.
We won.
Yeah.
We won.
Right. We won.
Continue.
Yeah.
3-3 punching. I'm with the story.
Yeah. So he's punching me in the arm like every, and then I remember at one point, the girls that sat in front of us noticed. So, and then I remember the one point, this girl Sarah, I forget her last name. Her name was Sarah something, because it was Kelly Hogan. They were like popular girls too that sat in front of us, and
so provoking.
At one point, this girl Sarah turns around and she looks at us and she goes, "How hard did you punch him, Andrew? He looks like he's about to cry." And
so emasculating at 12.
Yeah.
How many shades of red did you turn at that moment?
Yeah, it was
pasta
like,
sauce red, would you say?
You gotta be
I've turned pasta sauce red, yeah. Arrabbiata.
That's called a callback, listeners. Pay attention. Keep going.
Yeah. So I just remember like that little detail. And then he would be like, "Oh, you can hit me back." And I would like hit him back, but I could, he was bigger than me. I couldn't really hit that hard. So I hit him, and then he would like, hit me back.
He was
like,
showing
harder.
off to them, like, look how I could take his punch and still fucking sun this dude.
Yeah.
I hate this guy's guts.
See, here's what I would have said when he said, "You can hit me back." I went, "Nah, that's okay. I'm not gay." And that would have then, and he would have beat the shit out of you right then when you said it.
Yeah.
Because why was he hitting you? Why? Come on.
I think he was.
Why do you think he was hitting you?
Because he was gay.
Affection. He's trying to show you some affection. That's what you do at 12 years old.
Right.
It's like pulling. It's like pulling the hair when you're a little kid with the girl. You pull the hair. He's punching you because what he's really saying is, Mike,
I want you
I'd like you to
inside me.
suck my penis. I would like you to put my penis in your mouth. And that's it's sad that as a child he couldn't articulate that, so he had to just hit you.
Yeah, and I was like a chubby little bear cub, probably.
Oh, man.
And he was like a
He was
bear.
longing for you.
I don't know what he was. What's like a muscular?
It's a very
What's a muscular
strange theme
bear?
developing on this episode. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I think now he's like a fitness guy. He's like a CrossFit guy.
This just got more provoking. So continue, please.
So then he'd be like, "You can hit me back," and I would hit him, and then he would hit me back, and then I went to my dad and I told my dad that was happening, and my dad tried to teach me how to throw a punch, but my father's like kind of a cuck also, and just not he's like kind of like a, I don't know, he like works at a bank, he's very much like a Cusimano type Italian.
Like a respectable, normal guy.
He's like a normal guy.
There we go.
But he was like that, and then he knew the kid too, because we were in Cub Scouts together when we were younger, and he was like, that little fat piece of shit is hitting you, and he tried to teach me how to throw a punch, and I don't know, I wasn't gonna like learn how to fight in a short amount of time.
Right, you need to train.
I needed to train. But I'm just thinking, I wish I did was I wish I like just wore a belt to school, and I wish like after class started, I just got up and like wrapped the belt around his neck and just pulled as hard as I could until somebody pulled me off, and maybe try and like I wouldn't have stopped pulling the belt until somebody ripped me off, and I would maybe try to kill him.
Like up until death. That shit stick, dude. I had these kids, and then we'll get back to. I just want to identify. I'm identifying everybody.
That's what I should have done. Looking back on it, that was 100% what I should have done.
Mike, we're gonna robustify this in a second, but let me just identify with you for a second. And I think Dan, as an artist who was also chubby, probably has some bullying stories. There were these kids. I was such the outcast in sleepaway camp because like all these kids were like these preppy Jewish kids from Roslyn who played tennis with their dads, and I was like a graffiti artist in New York from like a single mom who was like into art, and they were all into like their fucking sports and their Umbro shorts and their Dockers. And I swear there were these two kids as I was walking, there's cabins around this big field, and as the kids were walking, like there were these two kids that as they would see me walk to my bunk, they would grab me and throw me against the wall and slap me in the face and spit on me and be like, "He's so fucking ugly. Look how fucking ugly he is." And they would like, and I was like,
what do
terrified
they look like now, I wonder?
Wait a second. So what happened was we had this big.
Do they have $9,000 of plastic surgery in there?
Buddy, they look exactly the way a 45-year-old Jewish man should look. And I'm like, ta-da, motherfucker. Like I've earned not looking like you because of you.
They like have a law firm together or something.
One of them's a dentist
like
from his dad's thing.
Dentist,
But I to this day, guys like that, I fucking hate them.
You get triggered. You get triggered
like a motherfucker. I get seething passion. So I am with you on. I'm with you on this. I'm going.
Mike, can I bring up one thing here about the father? I had a very similar thing with my dad. Issues with my father teaching me how to throw a punch. As Justin is well aware, my dad only has one arm. He lost his arm in an accident, and he still has his left arm. And so I was getting bullied, and he was teaching me. But I'm like, and he's showing me, and I'm like, "But Dad, I'm right-handed. Show me the other one." And he's like, "I can't, son, because I only have the one arm." And I was like, "Fuck you, Dad."
Well, that's the end of that.
You don't love me. You don't love me, Dad. And that was it. I never learned how to throw a good right hook because my fucking dad refused to have another arm.
Let's combine all the. You were bullied by someone, Dan? Why was you teaching you to punch? Because someone.
I was bullied constantly. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Why do you think I'm right? Like, Have you ever read my books?
Yes.
Christ. It's like every bad thing. Thank God.
But the listeners don't know.
All that shit happened to me.
The listeners don't know.
When you're chubby, you were chubby, Mike, you were chubby. When you're chubby, it's the titty grab. They can do the little titty twisters. They do all that. She grab you by your little fucking love handles. And all
right.
Oh my God.
This is going to be juicy. I say we combine all these bullying pieces of shit and we exact revenge on all of them together.
Yeah.
And we figure this out right now.
Now, it was 2 kids specifically that bullied you?
2 specific kids that bullied me. And they are now they've like DM'd me. They're like, hey, I want your shows on. I'm like, dude, you fucking piece of shit. But 2 specific ones that bullied me. One that bullied you. But it sat with me. It used to drive me to this day. Those things that happen when you're a kid, they fucking stick with you.
Right.
Like I still have like this. There's this inferiority complex that's sort of in there. Like we're all in the arts. What are people going to the arts for? You know what I'm saying? But do
you think you ever made somebody feel that way? There's a chance that
I don't think I was ever
a bully. The person that they're...
Yes, it did. Yeah, later in boarding school, there was this one kid who was like just a tyrannical piece of shit. He used to get us in so much trouble that I went to this crazy boarding school where they would do these things where it was like you were not allowed to see the rest of campus. You had to stay in the cabin for 23 hours a day. You could go out and just do like work, like doing like manual labor. I went to this abusive boarding school, and this one kid used to throw so many fits and get us into so much trouble that we were always in this state of what they called being farmed. They would send you down to this farm, and you'd have to live and work on this farm, and you had no contact with anybody else. So we used to bully the shit out of him because he would just to seek attention. He would constantly get us into trouble. And it's like school was a privilege you had to earn. But I want to keep this focus more on you right now because we want to exact your revenge. So this guy's punching you. Girls are watching it.
What about this idea, Mike? Was academia? Did it matter to this guy at all? Was he a good student, a bad student? Did it?
He was probably okay. He was probably decent.
As good as you?
So what about
round 1?
You come in and you say, listen, what are we calling him? Are we calling him by his real name? What's his name?
Yeah, his name was Andrew.
Andrew. Piece of shit.
Andrew, I know one of the teacher's assistants, and I got the answers to the final exam. Here they are. And you slide it over. And you go, here's mine, here's yours. And you slide it over to him on a little sheet of paper. And
the paper says, I raped your mother.
70% of the answers are wrong. So he gets a 30. Gets a 30 on his final exam. Imagine that. Then he brings it home, and his father
beats the shit out of him.
Probably a prick, right? Yeah. He's got to be a prick. His father puts a belt around his neck, strangles him until something
His father's Asian.
It's a little bit much. Oh, dude, that's bad. They're not allowed to fail.
His father takes chopsticks and stabs him in the eyes.
Dude, if they fail if they fail a test, the dads will stab. They're like, you dishonor and they stab themselves. I've seen
Harikari. I think that's Japanese.
Yeah.
It's similar.
That's in Asia, right?
Similar races of people. Go ahead, you say it. Go ahead.
This is what come on, we're not going to tiptoe around here for little fucking cutesy jokes.
You want to get some revenge now, Mike? You find out where this fucker lives.
Yeah.
You drive on his block. You act like it was just random that you ran into him. You're like, holy shit, Andrew, what are you doing, man? Oh, yeah, great. No way, so crazy I ran into you. I'm selling pasta sauce out of my trunk, right? Mm-hmm. And you flip it open, and there's a whole array of pasta sauce. You go, you know what, man? Since we're old pals, here, take a couple jars. Just take a couple jars. And you know what's in that pasta sauce? You know what's in there?
AIDS.
Raging herpes. No, what's the shit? What's the stuff that makes you shit real bad?
Oh, Alex, what's the stuff?
Like a laxative?
A laxative. You put a laxative. You just load that shit with laxatives. Next thing you know, and then you say, not only I got this pasta sauce for you for free, I got courtside seats for the Knicks tonight. Let's go, buddy. Old pal. I'll make up some pasta. We'll eat the pasta. Then we'll go to the Knicks game. And you make him up, gets the Knicks game, fucking shits himself, courtside. It's all over the TV. It's on Sports Center. Bad beats. His life is ruined.
This is great. Can I robustify this a little bit? I love the shitting. Mm-hmm. I think this is even better. Now we rounded it out. he's doing his whole thing, right? And you're a nice guy, right? You're like, so at the beginning, you seem all cucky. So what you do is he's punching yourself. You're like, oh, that's so. I made cookies for everybody, and I made you cookies because I just wanted to make friends because I feel like you've been a little bit mean to me. This is during class. This is back then, and there's X-Lax in the cookies. That way, an hour later in class, he starts shitting himself in class. You like this, Alex?
No, I think you're running a serious risk if he gives the cookies out. If everybody shits themselves and the whole class hates you.
No. Mike knows which one goes for him. He puts a different color.
I had to take out about 20 innocent kids with me that day, but
no. You don't do like a mass shooting with the cookies. You have like you sprinkle. One is specifically for him. You say, and I saved the big one for you because you're so big and strong. This one's for you. And then in the middle of class, in front of these women, he's just going to be shitting himself. That's fucking great revenge. That's similar to.
I think he would know though if.
Who gives a fuck at that point? What do you?
No,
care?
but he would know. He would know that something's up. That he has a special cookie.
Okay,
Yes.
I got it better.
No,
Here's how you do it. Here's how you sneak it by him, Mike. Here's how you sneak it by him. Forget the X-Lax. He's got to do a presentation in front of the class, as you have to do when you're 12, right? You know this is his day. He's got to do his presentation. You show up. You say, hey, I know this is your big day. Here, I got you some cookies. The sugar will give you a little bit of energy.
Yes.
Here, have some cookies. Get your energy up for giving your presentation in front of the class. What he doesn't know, those cookies loaded with Viagra. There's so much Viagra in these cookies. Now imagine what's the scariest thing in the world when you're 12 years old? When you get a boner and you got to stand up, right? He's got an uncontrollable hard-on. Can't get rid of it. Teachers like Andrew, it's time for you to come up here and talk about the bonobo monkeys on your report that you just wrote up. Come on. He says, no, I can't get up. Because he's got the hard-on. But he's got to get up in front of the whole class with a boner. Guess who's turning pasta fucking sauce red now, motherfucker?
Can I robustify it?
More robustify than loading it with Viagra?
I say, listen, buddy, this keeps getting. I say you go Viagra and the X-Lax. That you really got to fuck this guy. So that way he's got a raging hard on and he's shitting all over in front of these girls. That's like he won't show up to class ever again. Forget about it, Mike.
Yeah.
Alex?
I hope you're writing this down, Mike. I really do, because, we're giving you the good stuff today.
Mike, wait, where's the Seth Simon in this? Was this another story?
I was just saying about how it's fun to be a victim.
Oh, it's fun
to go like, yeah.
He's anticipating Seth Simon listening to this and then ruining his career. Yeah, he's getting ahead of it. Can I bring up
what
something
you don't know, Mike?
In school? Can I bring up something that happened to me in school, Justin, real quick? Because since you're bringing up school, Mike, I wanted to bring this up because it's a revenge thing that I've been thinking about for a while. When I was in high school, throughout high school, I displayed a real aptitude towards writing, right? I wrote for the school paper. I was the editor of the yearbook for a couple of years. I even started in an alternative comedy newspaper in my all-boys Catholic high school in Philly, right? Nice. So writing was my thing, and I think most people knew it. So it was time to go to college. I was headed off to Temple University in scenic North Philadelphia, and I went to meet with the guidance counselor to talk about, my major and all. They help you with this stuff, right? And so, of course, I want to major in English, journalism, something. But my mother, who, bless her, not the most sophisticated woman in the world, she got it in her head that I should go to school for marketing. She had no fucking clue what marketing was. She was a hairdresser. Someone must have come into the shop and she heard that word and they repeated it and it got in her head. And so marketing is what you should do. I didn't even know what marketing was either. So I go and I'm talking to this guidance counselor and I'm saying, yeah. And he says, well, I think your mom has a good point.
Marketing is the ultimate like fake career. It just seems like a fake job.
It's like marketing and what's the other one? Communications. What the fuck does that mean?
Political science. But so he said, well, it's more sensible, right? This is a guy, this guy's job, right? His career
is to guide you.
What he does is to guide you. It's clear to anybody with eyes that my passion lies in writing. But this guy's telling me to my face, I don't believe in you. I don't see the potential in you. I'm telling him I want to write, and I'm just wondering what that did to me psychologically and emotionally.
And you had your own newspaper.
This guy, he steered. I was the editor of the high school yearbook. I put myself at great physical danger. That's not a job you want to have in an all-boys Catholic high school. They kick the shit out of you, but I did it anyway. That's how much I loved writing. And this guy talks me into going into marketing, which I did. I wasted a year at Temple University. It took me 5 years to graduate because my first year I wasted as a marketing major, something I clearly didn't want to do. So years later, when I made it as a writer, I published several books and things like that.
Tell Mike who you wrote with. He'll be real impressed with this. Tell him who you wrote with.
Well, Hunter S. Thompson I worked with, back in the day. Yeah, nice. But come on, stop.
It's impressive.
Enough about me. So I thought, man, fuck that guy. And I looked him up, and it turns out he's dead. Right.
Nice.
So
touche.
So it got me thinking when we were talking. I wanted to tell the story. I was thinking about the nature of revenge, and I really want to get your opinion on this, Mike. Is it possible to posthumously exact revenge? Or
I don't know. Well, I guess but that guy thought he was doing the right thing. I mean, that guy thought he was helping you, I guess. Right? So it's like that guy wasn't ill-intentioned. He thought he was like doing the right thing and helping you on the correct path. It's like somebody like punching you in the arm in front of girls or like holding you up against a wall and slapping you. Like that's they're trying to hurt you. They're trying to belittle you and like.
Right.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but I don't see it that way because again, I wrote for the school newspaper. Yeah. I was the editor of the yearbook. I started an alternative newspaper. I told him I wanted to go to college for writing, and he looked me in the eye and said, "No, you're better off going into marketing." I haven't even started my life yet. And he's like, "Fuck you. You're not going to make it. I'm 17 years old." It was kind of crushing to be
but
like,
you still ended up a writer.
Despite him.
Probably because, though. Maybe
because.
Pain produces, buddy.
Yeah.
It's so funny because even you think of all the fake jobs that are out there, right? And it's like even advertising, you go, oh, I get it. Advertising, commercials, billboards, like stuff like that. Somebody has to think of those concepts to like sell the product or whatever it is. Somebody has to make the cigarette billboard, Yes. Someone has to pitch the idea of Joe Camel. Yeah, he's a camel and he likes to smoke. It's like fun. It'll make kids want to smoke. That's at least a tangible job. That's at least an actual job that you can be proud of. That you got so many kids to smoke cigarettes.
Smoking kids. Dude, can I give you...
I thought Joe Camel was so cool.
I thought he was so cool. When you used to look at the cigarette, Alex, can you bring it up on the screen where you could find the people fucking in his face? Do you remember that, Dan?
Yeah.
You never saw that?
What?
Oh my God.
Can we get rid of...
A little something for everybody.
You don't remember, you could find the people fucking in his face and the wrinkles in his face? Like a Man in the Moon type of shit. And as a kid, all you want to do is, I'm smoking fucking camels because I'm sexy.
Yeah, I made the horny Hardee's commercial where the lady that you want to that's advertising is something like that.
Really?
No, I'm saying like a guy in advertising. Can say,
I see.
That lady who you want to fuck her because she's eating a Hardee's burger. That was me. And all the terrible. You wrote a jingle or
Joe
something.
Camel is somebody went, I can do him one better. Juul. Let's get these vape pens and let's make them like cotton candy. Like,
I'm on them right now. I can't get rid of them.
Evil. Like these things are specifically designed
and let's
to
think
get
of
these kids hooked on the vape.
Let's think of a mascot for Juul, like a cartoon.
Juul. Would it be? It would have to be like, I don't know. I feel like we have to be like a cartoon version of like
Jaguar.
Daft Punk or something like that.
A Jaguar, maybe a Jaguar.
Jaguar is good. Can I ask you? Let me tell you something. Do you feel? Wait.
But I'm saying, the point I was making is like, what even is marketing?
I don't know.
What is it?
I can't even.
I don't know.
What do you do when you work?
I took selling. Yeah, exactly. It's evil. It's everything that I hate about the world, and they steered me towards it.
But it's worse than advertising, I think. Because
marketing,
what is...
market, because you're not even smart. Like, at least in advertising, you have to be clever. Like, the guy, say what you will about Joe Camel, was very effective. Whoever came up with the most interesting man in the world commercials, whoever came up with all those amazing commercials that are out there that we still remember, that takes
a little talent,
creativity,
clever and creativity. Marketing is just writing up fucking drivel designed to push shit on people but let me ask you this, since I'm still talking about it and I graduated high school, you'll be shocked to learn a few years ago. It's been a while. How long is it, like, if you could say I've gotten my revenge, right? Mike, you said I wrote books, I did this, I got my revenge.
You just got a movie optioned.
When can you let it go? Think about someone like Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady famously was drafted 199th in the 2000 draft, right? He was like the last guy taken, I think, basically in the draft. He still talks about it. He is by any credible metric the greatest person to ever play quarterback in football history. He has accomplished everything in the world, including marrying Gisele Bundchen, the most beautiful one.
She's a pig. Sorry.
He can't let it go.
I fucked
He can't let it go.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? Go ahead.
Do you think Tom Brady would have gotten there if he wasn't drafted 199?
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's those things that propel people. Like if you watch that Jordan documentary, remember the Michael Jordan documentary, the 10-part series? Like he would look at these little slights to motivate him to just dominate motherfuckers.
I think you have to do that. That's what, because what else is going to propel you forward, you fucking kid?
Buddy, I was such an outcast in school. I was terrible at school. I was like confused of like why I was sitting there for none of it was interesting to me. It fucked with my self-esteem, and I was just like, so it became like being funny and being artistic because I could draw. Those were the things that I was like, fuck that. I'm doubling down on all this shit. And it's like those things are like those kids who bullied me. Like it's not that it's still in my head, but it's like the tone of that was really what shaped me wanting to do these other things. I was like, you know what? Fuck you. Yeah. Like you're gonna go clean people's teeth for a living, and that's fine for people who want to do that. But like you go do that, I'm gonna go do this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's just like, and it's not like I'm running on those fumes anymore. But like they propel you. Yeah, they propel you. Can I tell you a really quick story, Dan and Mike? Yeah, there was this teacher.
Do you need both of us to agree?
I didn't want. I didn't want to hog
Justin,
the mic.
hold your ears.
One yes vote, one no vote.
Do we really want to hear this story, Mike? Now think long and hard about this. Justin tends to run on a little bit.
No, I want to hear it.
We good?
Yeah.
We good?
There was
yes, Justin, go ahead. Cover your ears. Yeah, okay. All right. Tell the story.
And I'm going to say this guy's name. So as I was saying, I was always the class clown. Yeah. Right? Teachers kind of hated me. There were teachers who, like, when I had to go to the bathroom, they sat there, they're like, no, I like peed in my pants in school one time. My mother came in and like flipped the fucking desk over. So there was this one teacher named Mr. Zorbis, and he was this like really handsome, muscular Greek guy who wore like tight velour burgundy shirts and like tight jeans. He looked like Tom Selleck, but like on steroids, right? And he was the special ed teacher, and he used to smack the shit out of these kids, and we would see it in the hallway, and when you're young, it was like scary. He would always say, no, I have permission from their parents, which I'm sure these fucked up, like these were like fucked up kids, right? So I'm like, I'm sure he did. So when there were substitute teachers and I was acting out, the class, when the teacher didn't know what to do with me, they would cheer to send me to Mr. Zorbis, and I would start having a fucking panic attack. I remember the teacher sent me to Mr. Zorbis. I went to his room. He grabbed me by the back of the neck, threw me in the seat, right?
What were you even doing?
Who knows what I was doing? When kids are classical, throwing papers, doing shit like that, pulling my pants down, whatever I was doing. Yeah. Were
you smoking Camels by any chance, Justin?
Dude, he goes
in the boys' room.
He goes to his desk, I swear to God, and he pulls out a fucking whip. A whip. And he starts whipping the shit out of my desk, like right in front of my face, until I was like hysterical crying, like terrified of this dude.
It was like that was the only purpose of that item, to be a whip.
I have no idea. I mean, the purpose of that, it was like this is a guy who like got off on like beating up kids and scaring children. Yeah. Right?
I'm just saying this, Justin. Thank God we scared off the pedophiles earlier, because if they heard this part of the story, they'd start jerking off right now. They're like, oh, wait, they brought you in. There's a whip?
Yeah.
That's why we open every
very
episode.
Kinky.
Yeah.
And that's why every episode.
If you're a pedophile, get out of here. Go listen to something else.
My mother.
There's going to be some shit later that you're going to want to jerk off to. Go ahead, Justin.
My mother
so being whipped in the classroom.
No, whipping the fucking desk. I was terrified. My mother tried to get this guy fired, and I remember as an adult later. Right, because I remember he's Mr. What's his first name? Mr. Zorbis from Rego Park, Queens. I used to look him up when as I got a little. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna hit this guy with a car. Yeah, like that dude is just like a colossal piece of shit. Like I wonder if he's still alive because he had to be like in his early 30s back then. But that's a dude who's like, I wanted to, the kind of revenge I used to think about with this dude is like that scene from American History X where he's like, put your motherfucking mouth on the curb. Yeah. Like that dude is like, you could stab a guy like that and be like, be justified, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy, like, what's acceptable. I don't know, because nowadays, like, somebody, like, if you were in school now, you just pull out your phone, you'd videotape, or you threaten to videotape them.
Do you remember?
Kids, like, don't get it, what we went through.
Do you remember when there was that one guy, there were the kids who were jumping in front of the bus, like a city bus was taking off. Do you remember this video, Alex? And the kids were jumping in front of a bus and, like, throwing things at the bus, and the bus driver gets off and, like, grabs one of the kids and smacks him, which he deserved. And then it was all over, like, everybody taped it with their phone, and then the guy gets, like, fired and he had to do, like, jail time. Dude, that was, like, a few years ago. Do you remember that? No? Alex? Anybody?
No, I don't remember this.
Well, I made it up. No, that was a real thing that happened.
Yeah. Did you see that there's some video where
Justin's acting out again? Where's the whip?
Send him to Mr. Zorvis. Dude, I fucking
send him to Mr. Zorvis.
I think it's a stage video. There's a video where, like, there's a bus driver and he's, like, throwing, like, a kid off a school bus. He's like being really rough with him. He, like, throws him and throws his backpack, and everybody on the street is like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" And then, like, the kid gets up and it's a little person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's like a staged video.
Oh, Jesus.
But it's very funny.
Do you ever think about spicing up your sex life, Justin, by, like, use that? Like, you got a lady over and you're like, "Hey, how'd you like to go see Mr. Zorbis?"
And I'll get kinky, but that scarred me.
Yeah.
That's
whips?
You know what was a big deal?
Is anybody into whips? I'm not into them.
I'm not into whips. I'm into, like, handcuffs and shit. Can I tell you something, though? Here was a big deal.
It's funny. The guy said, "I have permission from their parents."
I have permission from their parents. Dude, this is the thing, though. I remember we were in the auditorium once, and he walked by me.
Have you looked him up?
I swear to God, I tried to find this guy, but I remember we were in the auditorium, and you know what? Like, you're young, so talking back to an adult, especially one that intimidating, is, like, it's a big deal. And I remember he came over, and he stared at me. He's like, "You don't like me, huh?" And I go, "I fucking hate you." And it took so much of me to, like, look him in the eyes and be able to say those words because I was scared of him. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
And it was like, that was like a big deal. But I think the best revenge is with those two kids.
Yeah.
Because we all had this, they all had this big, like, reunion and shit like that. And I just felt so superior at that point. I was like, yep.
Yeah, I think
here's where the story comes full circle right now. This is the crazy part. The guy who steered me to marketing,
dead,
despite me practically begging not to go. You know what his name was?
Mr. Zorbis.
Mr. Zorbis.
Was it? Shut the fuck up.
It is now.
Mr. Joe
It's the same guy, dude. They've all come together, Justin. It's all the same person whipping us, trying to make us something that we don't want to be.
Do you feel good about that revenge, though, with the boner and the X-Lax? Is that good enough?
Well,
I want you to feel satisfied.
What I think is that since I've been thinking about this for about 20 years, I should take 20 years of his life. I should take a part of him because I think good revenge. It's like, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, okay, you got a boner, you shit his pants, whatever. But I think the best revenge, like, either drives the person insane or, like, takes something from them, takes a loved one from them.
Yes.
You somehow manipulate their wife into leaving them.
Yes. Okay. The long form,
the long
revenge.
burn. Yeah. Where it's like they even think it's over, and you're still, it's not.
You know what you got to do? How about this? How about, like, you go back to the pasta sauce, right? We do the whole thing, and you invite, like, it's like him and Seth Simon, right? You do the two of them, and we haven't been a while. You make, like, a pot, and you boil this fucking pasta sauce, and you throw it in their face, so their faces are scarred for the rest of their lives. That's something that's Alex. That's like fucking
violent assault is the route we want to go.
Yeah,
no,
I think you do need an aspect of, like, I'm your friend. You want to, like,
you got to load. Yeah, you want to inspire trust so that you can then really fucking domino them.
What's that Edgar Allan Poe story?
You have to weigh, Mike. You have to weigh the. So, for instance, you're talking about the long game, which is great to play that long game. You like figure out who is way. How can I ruin his life? But you also have to weigh any potential damage in your own life, right? So, like, for instance, you're doing this, and your wife goes, "Hey, Mike, why? I just was on the computer and I found all these searches about this other woman, and then it's hard to explain it. You're gonna be, oh, here's the thing, honey, Andrew, stay with me here. When I was 12." Andrew used to punch me in the arm and embarrass me, and now I've figured out a way to get his wife to leave him.
She's like, your son's taking his first steps, and I'm down near his house. I'm just out in a parked car outside of his house.
Here's what you have, dude. I'm in agreement with Dan. I think really what you have to do, like you got to give him. It's got to be the kind of thing that's going to live with him for the rest of his life. So you have to get his wife to leave him, right? And then you have to and she's got to somehow move in with, and you have to raise his kid. Yeah. But you got to raise him the way that you want to raise him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when he's like, no, I don't want to do this. Yeah, be like, but he lives with, this is what we do now. So, when you're not here, you have to adopt his family, own his family. Right. And then convert them. What was his nationality? Do you remember?
Irish, probably.
Irish, great. So you got to convert him to Islam. She has to convert to Islam because you believe in Islam, and so she has to convert to Islam. And then she's and then she's not when he shows up, she's not allowed to shake his hand because she's not allowed to touch another man, except for you. You understand what I'm saying? You really gotta just turn him completely out.
Yeah, turning his kid against him is pretty cool.
100%.
Yeah.
What are you gonna not do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I finally weigh in on what
Please?
I ultimately think is the best revenge? I'm going to say it right now. We've talked about a lot so far on this episode. I think Mike had it right in the beginning. Strangle the motherfucker with a belt.
Yeah.
Just get it over with. Just do it. You'd be out of jail by now. I mean, that was a long time ago.
I wouldn't kill him. I don't think I would kill him, but I want the moment where they finally pull me off and he's just
yeah. He's got to turn blue.
Gasping for air. Yeah. He's on the ground
The nice thing about that is also when the kid that gets bullied really fights back, and it's every fucking movie you see this thing, and he really the bully really never. It always flips the other way.
Yeah,
I think I go back. I do think the belt. I think the belt is the way to go.
And what I would do, because now that I'm a father, I'm well, my kid could be in this situation someday. So what do I do? How do I advise him? I wouldn't try to teach him how to throw a punch, especially if he wasn't as big as the kid. But I would be when he does it again, just say, I'd really appreciate if you didn't do it. If you didn't do that again, you give him an out. You give him a chance to not. And then if he does it again, all bets are off. Take a stapler and jam it into his head. Anything you can find to hurt. Do whatever you can to hurt this kid and make him remember. And I'll go to school and I'll be like, yeah, I told him to do that. Tell your rotten kid to keep tell your rotten kid to keep his fucking hands off my kid.
Dude, you ever have a family member threaten a kid that's fucked with you?
No.
My uncle, there was this kid Charlie who used to push me around in school, and I told my uncle once, and my uncle dropped me off in school, and he goes, "Is that kid?" And he goes, and he smacked the shit out of her. He smacked someone else's kid.
He did.
I was like, "This is awesome." Yeah. Uncle Ronnie.
How old are you?
3rd grade, I think.
Oh, really?
I mean, everything bad happened in grade school for me.
Yeah.
That's when it happened.
Yeah.
Do we want to go to annoying little thingies now, Dan?
I was thinking real revenge because I feel like we've got pedophilia, child abuse, attempted murder. Let's lighten it up a little bit with some movies, huh?
Okay, cool. Mike,
you want to play real revenge, Mike? Real revenge? This is what
fun.
We do. Do we have theme music for this? We do.
Alex?
In a world
when fortune smiles on something as violent and ugly as revenge,
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
I ain't through with you by damn sight. I'ma get medieval on your ass.
Give them nothing, but take from them everything.
All right. Lay it down, Dan.
So here's the deal, Mike. Real revenge. I'm going to give you and Justin and Alex plot summaries from movies that deal with revenge. You have to wait until I'm finished. You can't jump in early. You got to wait till I'm finished. And then you're going to buzz in with what we're going to establish our buzzers right now, what they're going to be. You're going to buzz in. Now, what I think, Justin, is there should be some stakes for this. So I was like, what can we offer to the winner? I happen to be an ordained minister with the Universal Life Church.
I've seen you do many weddings.
I can marry. I am legally sanctioned to officiate weddings. Now, Mike's already married, but in the event you get divorced, I mean, you're a comedian, you're probably going to get divorced. So then you want to get remarried. I'm offering my services for free. Alex, to you as well. Justin, to you. Yeah. I will officiate your wedding. And I'm just going to tell you, I got a lot of positive reviews on my officiating. Very good. Very good. So that's what's up. If you win today, you have a promise from me that if needed, I will officiate your wedding. at no cost to you.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
So you're...
We got it. So what are your buzz-ins?
We need a sound, right? Alex?
Last week we just said our own name. I think that might work.
I'm going to say Justin.
Mm-hmm. I'll say Alex.
Mike?
Mike, what are you going to say?
Mike.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Okay. Right.
So we have to
Everybody's
wait
got it.
until you're
Again,
done.
Wait till I'm done, and then the first one to buzz in gets it. Here we go.
Will you say the word done
ready?
so we know you're done?
Well, I'll just end scene. There we go. I'll go.
You can say that?
Yeah. Alex, do we have any dramatic music by any chance? Game music? Do we have any game show music?
Ooh,
something to
a little theme.
I feel like, and of course, this is something we could have prepared ahead of time, but we don't think like that. We're you know what? We're nimble. We're on the fly.
We have editors. We're a new podcast. This is like,
we're in post-production. We can add it.
We're getting things together. Here we go.
We want a happy game show.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey now, welcome to Real Revenge, everybody. The game where the movies get ugly. Okay, here we go. First movie. Everybody's ready.
Do we have to do the year like you did last time too?
Yes. Oh, Mike, that's the other thing. You got to try to guess the name of the movie and the year, and if you get close enough, that's good. Okay?
Okay.
Here we go. First film in Real Revenge. An insurance investigator searches for the man who raped and murdered his wife and gave him anterograde amnesia, permanently preventing him from making new memories and scene.
Mike. Memento.
Mike.
Memento. 2001. 2000?
Guy's good. Memento, 2000.
Wow.
Mike gets it. If you're within 3 years, you get it. All right, there you go. Mike gets Memento out the gate. Our guest is
on fire. He's on fire.
Okay, here we go.
This guy can't be fucking stopped.
Next one. Here we go.
Okay.
In this musical slasher film, an English tradesman murders his customers with a straight razor and processes their corpses into meat pies and scene.
Mike. Sweeney Todd, 1977. I don't know the year.
Got Sweeney Todd right. You're way off on the year, though.
I was going to say Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so stupid.
You want to get? I'll give you one more guess at the year. A little bit later.
I have no... 84.
No, later. Than 97.
97, okay. 97?
No, you said 97. I said it's a little bit later than that.
Oh, 2003?
Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, was released in 2007. Alex, can you weigh in here? Oh, you're playing the game, so I don't know if you want. Do we give it to him? He got the movie right.
He got the movie.
Half
I think that's impressive.
Yeah, I think that's good.
So Mike's got 1.5 points.
1.5. All right,
Okay.
Here we go. Mike's out to a commanding lead. We got 3 more movies to go.
Oh, wow. We're going. Okay,
Next
okay.
one.
I'm going to get
We're doing
the next
5 today.
Got it.
In this Western, after 2 drunken cowboys disfigure a prostitute and go on the lam, a young man known as the Kid puts together a posse to track them down and collect the bounty and scene.
Mike.
Fuck.
Oh, Mike's got it.
Unforgiven, 1992.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah?
Wow. Boom. Unforgiven.
92?
1992.
Shit.
2.5. Mike's. He can't be caught. My math skills are. But we'll keep going. Mike, you're killing it, man.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I watched the first half of it recently.
You never saw. But you never saw the whole thing?
No, I saw the whole thing.
So good.
I'll watch it.
I got to get drops from that for this show.
By the way, Alex and Justin,
Yeah.
as a member of the Revenge Fantasies crew,
Yeah, we're losing.
I'm a little embarrassed by the show.
I haven't seen a lot of these movies on today's list.
Alex, it's not our fault you're so young, okay?
It's not my fault either,
It's not our fault. You're so young and beautiful.
Thank
Let me
you.
add something to that. Let me add something.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, maybe we'll bring it into your era a little bit, okay, Alex?
All right,
With this
let's
next
see.
one, we'll bring it in a little bit more modern times, if you will. Here we go. 4th question. A frontiersman digs himself out of a snowy grave, intent on tracking down and killing the fur trapper who put him in the ground and also killed his son and scene.
Justin.
Alex.
Justin got it.
The Revenant.
Year.
What year?
I feel like it was 8 years ago because I remember it came out, Dan, when I was in LA. I can't do math. What's this?
Is this going to be a long story?
What's this year minus 8?
2013.
2013, I say. Because I remember when
2015. You're 2015.
Well, I would have guessed 13.
You would have. I know you would have. Awesome. All right. So it's 1 to 2.5 to 0.
Yeah.
Was that movie good?
So Alex,
it's sort of ridiculous. It's like he's getting healthier as it goes on. You remember that part? He's just getting healthier and stronger after a bear rips him to pieces, and it's like, well, this is ridiculous.
That's because he's banging young supermodels, dude. It's like the fountain of youth.
DiCaprio.
Yeah. Brings you back.
Okay.
All right, our final one, and let's see if Mike can just close out a dominant performance here.
Unbelievable.
On this edition of Real Revenge. Final one. After the little girl he's been hired to protect is kidnapped in Mexico City, former CIA operative swears vengeance on those who kidnapped her. End scene.
Mike. Man on Fire, 2003.
I knew that.
Wow. Man on Fire, 2004.
Holy shit, dude. He's unbelievable.
Man, this guy, Jesus.
Unstoppable.
It's like the real revenge
champion. You're going to marry him. Mike, I want to marry
you. You got something to look forward to after the divorce. And, I will remarry you.
I'll marry you both.
All right.
That was great, dude.
Congratulations, Mike. Congratulations. Wow. Spot on.
Do we want to do some annoying little thingies? And then we can do plugs and then close it out. Mike?
All right.
Why does it say pepper jam when there is no pepper jam? I swear to God, one of these days, I just kick this piece of shit out the window.
Just get your ticket and move on, okay? Get your goddamn ticket and move on!
Don't hassle me about crumbs, man, because I am on the edge of the edge.
Okay. This is the annoying little thingies that drive everybody crazy. This one I'm making very personal. I'm dedicating this to neighbors. Now, this is a little bit more specific to New York City, where we're always in apartments and things. I live in a pre-war building, right? I've had great neighbors and I've had shitty neighbors, but let me explain my current neighbor to you, right? There is some sort of a rolling chair that is right above my bedroom. And almost every night, the door slams, and his girlfriend comes in her heels and starts clomping around, and then whatever they do involves this chair moving around a lot, right? And it always wakes me up. So I left a note. I was like, hey, I'm your neighbor, and I gave him like a bottle of wine. I was like, hey, I'm your neighbor. You're not doing anything wrong, and I'm not making a complaint, but as you probably know from the people upstairs from you, these are very, very paper-thin floors, and when your girlfriend comes in with her heels, it wakes me up, and when you move the chair around, it's right above my head. So, I'd like to offer to buy you a rug. Can I buy you a rug? Pick any one you want. $500 budget seems reasonable to me, right? These are not huge apartments, right? I'm not getting wall-to-wall carpeting. So he comes back down and he goes, listen, man, I don't know what the big deal is. She only comes in, she comes in, she walks around for a few minutes, and we go to bed. I go, but right, I get that, and I'm not angry at you about that, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't take that long to wake somebody up. It's like walking in and bop, 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 and then the chair thing. So he goes, all right, I get it, I'll get a rug. So he goes and he picks one out, and it's $1,500. And I said, listen, I appreciate it, I'm offering to buy the rug, but this is a little bit of an exorbitant price. I was like, can we pick something more in the $500 range? I'll even go to $700. He's like, well, I didn't see one I like that. And I was just like, can we find something? Or is it possible that she could take her shoes off when she first comes in? He's like, I don't understand what the big deal is. She just comes right in and takes her shoes and go to bed. I'm like, I feel like I just kind of explained this. And I'm not going to
get a nice rug for $200.
Am I right? Am I out of my mind about it? But I've had so many neighbor issues where it's people are cool and shit like that. It's when you have a dick neighbor and you're trying to be nice and someone's just intent they're like, I don't understand what the problem, the indignation of it. Is that the word, right, Dan? Indignation? Yeah. That's an annoying little thingy. So that kind of drives me nuts. Annoying neighbors that just they're giving you friction. They're being, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't find words today. You're being abrasive for the sake of being abrasive.
All right, here's what we do. You're going to go 7 on them. You're going to go all 7 on them.
$700?
Okay? 7, the movie, the David Fincher movie.
Shit.
You go up to the door, you knock on the door, you go, you know what, buddy, I thought about it. I went out, I got your rug myself. Here it is. You hand him the rug and you go, here, just make sure it works and fits. And when he goes out and he unrolls it, close up on his face, as the horror sets in, you have killed and skinned and tanned his girlfriend and turned her into a rug. And he rolls it out and he sees her face and he's like, ah.
Did that happen in that movie?
No, it's what's in the box. He chops her head off. Or I buy him a lamp.
But he's a writer, so
Dan's a writer.
It was good.
Or I buy her a lamp.
You kill his girlfriend, you turn her into a rug. And scene.
I don't think it could get any better than that, Dan. I didn't even think that far. Right now, what I do is when it wakes me up, I start screaming. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. Or I'm like, make more noises. It's like, it's not, he doesn't give a shit. He can't. I don't think he can hear me. Yeah. I try to blast music, but I don't think the music goes up.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill him with kindness.
What's the rule on
you're
fucking?
You're just waking up a more Jewish man.
Fucking?
The fucking and noise. So how much can you tolerate? Because I know in New York, it's very, the walls are thin. You're all on top of each other. You don't want to cock block. You don't want to be like, oh, don't fuck. But what's the rule? Like, if you've got neighbors that are fucking all hours of the night, is it okay to say, hey, you guys got to chill out?
Can I answer this? When I lived on 16th Street, there was this cute Indian girl who lived upstairs from me. And on the weekends, her boyfriend would sleep over and they would wake me up. I would hear the morning sex. It used to turn me on so much that I would just wake up and start jerking off. It was such a turn. Dude, I swear to God, I used to get excited when it was like, I'd be like, dude, they're going to wake me up fucking. It used to turn me on so much. Do you remember
what her boyfriend's name was?
What?
Zorboff.
Mr. Zorbis.
That motherfucker. Yeah.
What's the scene in with Ed Norton and Brad Pitt, Fight Club? When they're like constantly fucking next door and like the lamp, the chandelier's falling off the ceiling, he starts going out of his mind. But to me, it turned me on more.
Alex, can you please inject some female sensibility to this conversation? What are your thoughts on loud coitus?
So I just moved into an apartment in Bushwick where I could hear my neighbors, and it totally doesn't bother me. It makes me giggle. Like, I'm like, oh, good. Like, whenever I hear the girl like specifically enjoying herself, I'm like, good for her.
Yeah. I'm into it.
I'm like, and my neighbors are a little nerdy
like
too. I'm like, it's not usually that late. It's usually like before midnight or so.
Yeah.
And they're not loud enough that if they were to do that at 4 a.m, I don't think it would wake me up. It's just that if I'm awake, I could hear it.
You don't want to be the guy who's like, can you please stop fucking so loud? I'm trying to do crossword puzzles.
That's some old man shit. You can't do that.
Yeah. No.
Well, what about like in a hotel? You're on business. You're there, and and it's like,
well, who fucks for more than 6 minutes? I guess some people do. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Pop a dick
Mike
pill,
just
Dan,
had a baby. You don't remember what it's like. Do you remember it, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. Let's go back.
Because when you have a baby, my friends tell me that the sex kind of stops for a while, a couple years.
Yeah, there's not a lot. I ate her out last night, though.
Did you? With the kid in the room? No.
No, he was asleep. But it's rare that you get the opportunity to, like, the kid's down and you get to have sex.
You get to do a little box munching.
Yeah.
It's exciting. This has been super fun, Mike.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming in. Do we want to go to plugs now? That's a yes. Mike, what do you got?
Indeed.
You know when this comes out?
Probably come out in like 2 weeks.
Okay, so I'll be at the Sisyphus Brewing Company in Minneapolis, Minnesota, January 14th and 15th with my friend Evan Williams doing a little co-headlining.
Oh, super fun.
Yeah.
And tell everybody what your social media is and all that stuff.
It's at Mike Recine on Twitter, Recine.Mike on Instagram.
Very cool. As for me, it's at I am Justin Silver on all social media platforms. I have my other show, Neurotica, a little dirty talk with a side of mental illness. It's myself and Natalie Cuomo as the new co-host. My website is IamJustinSilver.com, and I'm on the road a bunch, so you can see all my show dates and things like that. Dan.
I'm at The Imbiber, TheImbiber, Twitter and Instagram. My other show is called What We're Drinking with Dan Dunn, and all the fabulous celebrities are on there. I'm also regular on the Adam Carolla Show, so if you want to, this is coming out before the holidays, right? So go search Carolla Holiday Drinks. I just did a booze segment on there. tell you what to drink during the holidays. Did you know, Justin? What do you put in your eggnog? And you too, Mike. What do you put in your eggnog? Alex?
I'm not an eggnog
What's your
guy.
spirit of choice in your eggnog?
Yeah, I guess a little bourbon.
Oh, bourbon, Justin?
I'm not an eggnog guy. I like the. Can I be honest? I like virgin eggnog because it tastes like cookie dough,
like candy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Alex,
like a
somebody
You gotta
with
get
a-
the right kind of eggnog though.
Damn it. You're going to
Somebody
hate this,
tough on
Dan, but I do not drink alcohol.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I'm quitting except when I hang out with you, Dan.
I drink it with rum and I drink it with bourbon. But sometimes, a little tip here, a little helpful tip, you put a little smoky mezcal with a little bit of sherry, the mezcal and the sherry together into the eggnog. Stir that up, grate a little nutmeg on top of there. You'll be eating some pussy. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Well, if you drink too much, you have to eat pussy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You can't fuck.
You can't. Happened to me recently.
Yeah, it happens to all the best.
Yeah, all the champions.
All
It
the
happens to.
champions.
Not me. I got drugs for that. I take if there's even the remotest chance that I'm gonna get laid, I'm
Really?
taken Viagra.
That's great.
Always?
I go to the grocery store. I pop Viagra because I'm like, you never know. Might meet somebody in the fruit aisle.
Let me tell you something.
And,
I am
just
young
take
and
it.
virile. I am young and virile. You don't got to ask me twice. All I need is a neighbor fucking upstairs, and I am good to go. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Mike, for joining us. We really
pleasure.
appreciate you.
Thank you, Mike.
We really appreciate
Alex, thank you.
coming in. Alex, thank you. Dan, thank you. Everybody, stay out of Central Booking. Keep your revenge fantasies here with us. This is a safe, warm, fuzzy place. We will see you next week.
Because now it's payback.